Good morning, Hunt County. You know it must be 10 a.m. on a Monday morning if At Home Texas Real Estate is bringing you the Monday market update, and here we are. And you weren't expecting to see me. You were expecting our normal host, Vinay Hudson, but she called me this morning with a little bit of a cough and said that she thought it better play it safe. And you know what? I think that was the same cough I used to use when I needed to go fishing. And I'd call my boss and be like, I'm not feeling real well. I think I want to go check out the bass today. But anyway, I'm sitting here with Jared Fuselier. Now, I probably butchered that.
You got it right, Fuselier.
Fuselier.
It's French, yes.
So it's French. You were telling me before the opening here that you're from Southern Louisiana. Tell me about that transition.
I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. I've been in Greenville 7 years, and so my family's down there in Lake Charles still, and they're actually up here evacuated as refugees from the hurricane. So
wow.
Yeah.
So that's just different. You know, we deal with a lot of tornadoes here.
Yeah.
You get to deal with some hurricanes down around Lake Charles. I've been down there, man. In the summertime, it's just a beautiful place down there.
It is. It's a sportsman's paradise.
It is, man. There's hunting and fishing and pretty much anything that you want to do there.
That's right, man.
So what brought you to Hunt County?
Well, when I married my wife, she had a home here, and I decided to just leave Louisiana and become an official Texan. And I am a proud Texan now. I've been here 7 years, and I consider myself a Texan now, full-fledged. I'm still a Saints fan, though, but don't hold that against me.
I'm not a big football fan, so we won't even go there.
Okay, but yeah.
Well, you know, my wife says the same thing. She wasn't born in Texas. She was born in Arizona, but she said she got here as fast as she could.
I like Texas. I love Texas.
So you're a home inspector.
I am.
How long have you been doing that?
I've only been doing it about a year now. Okay. I've been doing building and remodeling and construction for 15 years or a little more.
So you've had your hands on it?
I've had my hands on it. I'm very knowledgeable about building materials, structures, things like that. So at one certain point, I began thinking about becoming an inspector of the very things that I build and work with. So it just sort of dawned on me that this would work out great for me. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving this career.
So it's not like you just jumped in with no experience. You kind of knew what was going on. And I think that's a great attribute for a home inspector. You know.
Yes, sir.
You know, your business and my business work a lot the same, right? We depend on word of mouth, and we depend on referrals, and actually being knowledgeable about the product, like we're knowledgeable with real estate. That really helps people feel like that we're educating them about what's going on. And so, tell me what it's like what are you doing to try to make sure that you're getting that referral business and that word of mouth out there? What kind of things are you doing to make sure that those clients want to tell other people about you?
Right, and you would call that marketing, of course.
Sure.
And hitting the road and visiting real estate offices, letting them see your face, handing out cards, getting out there and building relationships with people. Of course, doing Facebook marketing, internet marketing, web pages and things like that. Just meeting the people and building relationships. And also what I like to do is follow up with clients after an inspection report is sent. I like to give them plenty of time to ask questions and me explain to them about the report and what's on the report. Just sort of build, and word of mouth, like you said, is very important.
Right.
If people like you, they're going to spread you word of mouth for real estate or inspection business.
Right. That's right. You know, like one of our, as a realtor, one of the top referral partners we could have would be a lender. You know, somebody who's going to say, hey, you're pre-qualified, or hey, you can buy this much house, or however it works. Say, hey, call this agent right here, and they'll really take care of you. And it's kind of that way for home inspectors. I see is where maybe a realtor might be your biggest asset, because if you're giving good service, that realtor's going to know it and would be more likely to pass your card on to the next client. So
that's right.
This business is so intertwined, and it's such, and it's one of those things that it's hard to explain sometimes to a newcomer, whether it be a vendor or an agent themselves. This is really all about who you know and the network of professionals that you have. Yes. Because just like yourself, you're going to see some stuff on an inspection. Hey, I recommend that you get a plumber out to inspect this, or I'm going to recommend that you call a foundation company. So I can imagine that it'd be important for you too to have some of those contacts in your network.
That's right. To recommend personal, friendships and companies that you're affiliated with.
People that you know are going to take care of your clients.
That's right. Who you trust, though.
That's right.
You don't want to send just anybody out there.
No, we've learned that the hard way. way.
Don't want to do that.
We
That's
don't want
right.
to do that.
Yes, sir.
So what is, I'm going to kind of lead this question out there. We haven't talked about this, so I'm sorry if I
That's
tell you
okay,
under the
man.
bus a little bit.
Sure.
But what are one of the things that you see lately that's common on a home inspection that might be fairly contentious, or might be one of those big items that maybe home sellers might want to look at before they list their property?
Well, the main one is when they ask is how's the foundation and how's the roof. And so the foundations, and we all know around this East Texas soil, there's a certain level of every foundation that's going to have hairline cracks, some shifting moderately and things. So one of the biggest items is foundation. And a lot of realtors probably don't prefer to get the report back saying this foundation shifted, recommend calling a concrete company to give a second opinion and evaluate the situation. So me being knowledgeable about home building and construction, I'm able to talk to the client, let them know, look guys, there's some upheaval, the brick veneer's cracking here. I'm able to explain to them about this big item and maybe take some worry off them and not stress them out and whether they're shy of this, maybe buying this home.
Right.
But a foundation's one of the biggest issues I find with constant problems up here in East Texas.
Yeah, we see that too, and I'm sure it's no different in Lake Charles area, honestly.
They sink down there.
They sink, I'm sure. You don't really get any upheaving. But, here, I try to explain to some of our clients sometimes that it's like building your house on a sponge.
Yeah,
if that sponge is real dry and
Yeah.
it shrinks way down, and then your slab may start to fall, and then you add a bunch of water to it all at once, and it just
Swells.
tries to swell,
Yeah, man.
and that's when you really start doing damage. And that's why, folks, at home, watering your foundation in East Texas is so important.
Yeah.
You keep that sponge moist, and it stays a consistent size year round.
That's right.
And so if you do that, then you won't have to have Jared come out on a home inspection and
Tell
tell
you.
you that the foundation has a little bit of issues. But honestly, most of those issues really aren't that bad.
They're really not. I mean, it can appear bad.
How often have you seen a foundation that had failed, that was no longer serviceable?
I have not personally seen
Right.
a foundation as of yet. Even a pier and beam though, and everybody out there knows pier and beams,
Right.
the concrete blocks and your wooden beams and your floor joists underneath where you can crawl. I haven't even seen a pier and beam yet that's completely gone
Completely
because
failed,
it can
right.
be repaired.
Right.
Foundations can be repaired, but with hydraulics and hydraulic pumps with
Sure.
blocks and things. So
We've had that done a lot of times. We've bought a lot of houses over the years, and really, foundations have been a blessing and a curse for East Texas, because they're a blessing for people like me that are investors, and you get a house out there that's maybe been foreclosed on, or it hasn't been really well maintained, and a lot of the general public see that foundation. They're like, oh man, I really don't want any of that. But I'm here to tell you, we've had a lot of foundation repair done
Sure.
across Hunt County,
Yeah.
and it really, once you get your toes wet with it's really nothing to be scared of. And you get a good foundation guy who can explain it to you.
That's right, explain it to you.
And you really understand how it works, and then the maintenance thereof.
Yeah.
It's really not a big problem. So I agree that I think that foundation problems are probably one of the biggest things that come back on a home inspection.
Sure, and it
But-
causes a lot of other issues. Cosmetically, it causes your brick on the outside to staircase crack and split. It causes your headers, where your doors are on the corners. It causes those ugly cracks inside.
When it causes
there.
them to shift, and maybe your doors don't
Yeah.
shut well
It
anymore.
causes a lot of cosmetic issues on the outside to where it may scare someone about a home, but those things can be repaired and
Right.
can be corrected.
We've even seen it break some stuff in the attic that was
Sure.
supporting the roof. And you got to
Rafters,
go back and
purlins.
put that
Yeah.
stuff back in. But
That's right.
again, it's all repairable, and I appreciate you coming on and telling us that, because I think that is a big misclaimer. And I don't even want to get into price, because pricing varies. I mean, depending on the
yeah.
company and the type of foundation repair they do. But really, it's all repairable. It just depends on how much risk you're
repairable.
willing to take and how much money you're willing to spend, really.
Yes, sir. You're right.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to hear from one of our amazing sponsors.
At Money Law Firm, we are dedicated and focused on being professional, personal, and proactive.
In the title business, there's a lot of paperwork, but when you walk in the door, you don't see that. You see clean, clear walls, you see very straight lines.
Everyone here is like family.
They have a great team of people. The communication is great. I send as much business as I possibly can down here because they take such great care of us.
So welcome back to the Monday Market Update here. You know, that was a great commercial from one of our sponsors. My wife and I are even in that commercial. I don't know if you saw it sitting there, but let's talk a little bit about this week in Hunt County. So this is the part in the show, Jared, where we talk about how many homes were listed, sold, and pending in the last 7 days. So this last week we saw 39 homes listed, 15 homes sold, and 11 pending. And that's the sold and pending are down just a little bit from weeks in the past. But what I think is a good thing for the market is we see that those listed homes were almost 40, and that's an uptick.
Almost.
And so what we're seeing, we still have kind of a seller's market going on where we have more homes that are desired than there are available. And so there's a lot of people still out there wanting to buy a home. We got a lot of buyers who just aren't finding the home they want. And a lot of those homes, when they go on the market, especially in that average range, which we're going to talk to in just a minute, they go quick and they go multiple offers. And so we have a lot of buyers out there who almost feel like they've been jaded by the market. And so that's really created this almost frenzy in the last couple of months over homes. And so some of those homes, active homes right now, we have 223 on the market. Again, that's just a little bit of an uptick. We were, I think, averaging just below 200. Wow. So, and this is just Hunt County now. Just Hunt County. And so that average is an uptick just a little bit from weeks in the past, which again is a good thing.
It's really good.
But hopefully that we get some more of those homes in that desirable price range and neighborhoods.
Sure.
And I think we're going to see a few today that are going to be very desirable homes. So total sold last week. In 7 days, we closed $3 million, over $3 million worth of real estate, which is great. But if you look last week, it was almost $6 million. The previous 7 days. So we've been seeing this fluctuate from 3 to 6, kind of back and forth depending on the week and the month. And I think it's a great thing to see that variation. It just shows, I think, that we really have a stable market here. It's not, even though we've had a little bit of a frenzy, I don't think it's created any instability, which is important for buyers to understand. And the average home price is down just a little bit at $216,537.
That's the average price.
That's average price
for about a 2,000 square foot home. The less 18.
It would probably be average would I think average. We don't pull this spec, but I think the average home size would probably be in that like 15 to 1,800 square foot range. So yeah, if you're looking at that, then you're looking at just a little over $100 a square foot on that average home, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good place for people to be. Yeah. And again, that's down a little bit. We've been seeing that hover between 235 and 255, kind of going back and forth. But it really depends on what homes are on the market and what people are able to buy. So let's look at the next slide here. We're going to go into our first listing here. It's on 121 Cagle Street in Quinlan. I saw a lot of really awesome attributes about this home. To start out with, the listing price is at $225, and it's showing just under 1,600 square foot according to the taxes, and it's on almost a 2/10 of an acre lot. So a pretty good sized lot in Quinlan there. It's got a nice sized kitchen. Now, you were telling me before the show some of the things that you look at in a kitchen.
Yes, sir.
As far as a home inspector.
Yeah, a lot of people will see on reports GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter plugs. Some people may be like, "What is that?" Well, if the circuit senses any kind of fault or power surge or trip in the wiring system, it will hit the reset button. I'm sure you've seen the plugs with the little. And kitchens are required to have GFCI outlets in them for if you splash some water, if you're cooking, or to keep from electrical shock and things like that. It'll actually trip itself. It's a safety switch, basically, to make it simple for everyone. It's a safety switch plug.
Keep you from electrocuting yourself.
That's right.
Right. When I first started in this business, we only had to have GFCI plugs within 3 feet of a water source, whether that was in the kitchen or the bathroom.
Right.
And that changed, I think, in 2012. I don't remember if it was 09 or 12. That law changed, and that's based on the national
outside now garages, exterior.
Well, not just that, but we see that that every plug in a kitchen has to be GFCI, correct?
Every one on the circuit.
Every plug in a bathroom has to be GFCI protected. That doesn't mean that you have a GFCI in every hole. It just means
it's on the circuit.
It's on the circuit.
Yes, sir.
Talk to your electrician if you really want to understand that, because we could explain it. We could bore everybody.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll just confuse them. But anyway, this is a beautiful kitchen. I think it opens up to a nice. We don't have a picture of it, but it opens up to a nice semi-open floor plan. You can see the sitting area here. You could make this your formal dining area, I think. This current homeowner is using this as a sitting area, library. I think it's well done. Then we were talking here, this house, obviously, just by looking at the fence and the grass, and the way everything's done. Beautifully manicured, by the way.
Beautiful yard,
But it's
yes.
obviously that it has an irrigation system.
Yes.
And you inspect those?
Yes, sir. I will. I do inspect the irrigation system.
So we just need to make sure that all our sprinkler heads pop up before we call you.
Make sure they work, or I'll tell you they don't
They
work.
tell you, that's probably pretty common, right? Especially on those ones in flower beds.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I figure. I see that a lot.
That's
I
right,
love this
man.
pergola out there. Doesn't really obstruct any views. You can still see the night sky, but it does give you just a little bit of shade when you sit on that back
Sure,
porch. It's
enough.
great.
Yeah.
All right, so that was it for that guy, and we're going to move into Kiowa Drive here in Greenville. And I want to tell you, this here home was listed by Randy Hooten. Randy Hooten is a great guy. He's a great agent. He's a good friend of mine, and I'll tell you this. He asked Ashley, my wife, if he could use our office as a donation drop-off for all the goods that he wanted to take to the hurricane victims
Lake Charles,
in
Louisiana.
Louisiana,
Wow,
that's right.
awesome.
And so he just did that last week. We collected a bunch of donations down at our office.
Oh, that's
and,
great.
And Randy came down and he collected all those donations that all you guys brought. Thank you very much for that effort. And we sent him with a bunch of cases of water we had stacked up at our office too, because we always keep water around for agents and stuff. And well, when it's colder out, they don't drink as much, so we had plenty to give away. So I think we gave him 6 or 8 cases of water and just all the donations that we had there. And I really appreciate that effort. And thank you, Randy, for putting that together and taking that down there to those hurricane victims. So this home here on Kiowa Drive, it's listed at $235,000, and it is 1,893 square feet on the taxes. So you see that's just under 2,000 square feet, a little
that's
over
right.
$100 a square foot we're talking about there. And it's also on 2/10 of an acre. It does have an HOA, and it's $60 annually. That's like the cheapest
$60.
HOA that I've ever heard of.
That's a
So
good one.
let's take a look inside here at this kitchen.
Just look at it.
Man, the subway tile in the kitchen, that's really common nowadays.
Yeah.
With a
In
little
style.
darker grout. Yeah, it's definitely stylish. Flat top stove and the stainless appliances. Looks like the dishwasher's new. I don't want to tell you it's brand new because I don't
Looks
know
stainless
that.
steel to me from here. I
It
don't know.
does look stainless, but that sticker, I see that sticker and it tells me new. So we'll see.
you go.
Perfect place here to watch your Saints. You were telling me about. Yeah,
Don't get on to me now. Yeah.
So I love the fireplace, man, and the work there done around that. And then here's the backyard. Another
That's a
pergola.
nice backyard, yeah.
Another pergola, man.
Yeah, another
And obviously it's big enough for pets because here you go. You see the family dog in the
See
backyard.
Fido right there.
Yeah, there's Fido. Hey, buddy.
He is,
And
man.
if you look there on the left-hand side, it looks like they have a little dog run built into their backyard there. Maybe they could put the dog in the little dog run
Yeah, I
over
see
there when
that.
they have
Channel.
guests or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
So that finishes up on Kiowa, and we're going to move into here to 1701 Applegate. This is in Royce City, and this one's listed at $255,000, and it is 2,448 square feet. That's a big house.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a lot of house.
That's
and this
plenty
is
of room.
pretty typical for a 2-story Royce City house, I think.
Yeah.
It's on a 1/10 of an acre, just a little over a 1/10 of an acre. Beautiful tree in the front yard there. I love the front walk. One of the things talking about inspectors, this is not necessarily a home inspector, but from an FHA inspector.
Sure.
Just remember, in those beds, do you do any wood destroying insect?
I am not
Not.
not
But you
currently
have some
WDI,
guys.
but
Yeah.
I have guys that I work with. Yes.
One of the big things we see in some of these things is where you have your log or whatever is separating your flower bed from the yard. A lot of times you see that right against the house.
Yeah, you should have rock or nothing should be touching.
Nothing
It's
should
the
be touching the
concrete
home.
foundation. That's right.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
So look at this teal,
That's
man.
a beautiful
It's-
color fireplace area. I tell you.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's just not my color.
Well-
maybe for a Saints fan, you might like that. I don't know.
Well, that'd be the Panthers probably. That looks like the Panthers to me.
But anyway, I love what it does for this room because it really it takes what would be otherwise
It can
maybe a little bit
brighten
of
it
a
up.
bland room, but it really gives it
brightens
that
it
pop
up.
of color, and it really draws your eye. And I think it's great. And we don't have a picture of it, but the staircase has one wall that's the same color.
Oh, wow.
And Jared was telling me, don't worry, if that's not your favorite color, it can be easily painted.
It can be easily prepared and fixed, guys.
That's right.
I want to give
That's
you
right.
comfort there.
So this kitchen goes into an open floor plan here with that bar where the island and the refrigerator, just really well set up, and you can come straight in off of the backyard there. It looks like, and be able to get into the kitchen. Here's your master bedroom, very spacious. Higher, it's probably 9 or 10 foot ceilings, and then I like the double entry there into the master bathroom. I think that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So then here's the backyard. We were talking about this pre-show too, and you said you've never seen one, but this looks like to me a trampoline that's been dug into the yard.
I can't believe it. I don't know. I wouldn't inspect that.
You wouldn't be an inspector for that. You know, I've seen this done before. I don't know that I've ever actually shown a home with it, but I know that people from when I was a kid that had them. And I think they do it for a safety reason. I don't know if it makes it any safer, but your kids don't fall as far. I guess if they fall off.
That's a good idea.
So I'm just curious. I'm curious. Does it hold water? Do they have a pump in there? I don't know. But we might have to go look at it and find out. So we're going to move on to Park Street here. This house was built in 1927.
Historical.
Yes,
Very
1927.
historical
It's listed at $275,000. And it's 2,800 square feet, man.
Wow,
Park
that's
Street.
good. That's
huge.
great.
And so this one of the few houses that we're going to show you today that's listed at under $100 a square foot.
Right, and this is
right down there on historic Park Street. I think everybody wants to be down there. I saw there was some of these things that looked like they had at least been touched up, cleaned up. These floors, man.
Original.
I don't know if they are. It doesn't say that they are. It doesn't say that they are, but it could.
It could possibly be though.
And I was telling you, man, I just there's nothing like wood floors in a home, and I mean, I like the pre-finished stuff. I like the laminates. I like the LVPs and all that good stuff. But there's just something about when you take those wood planks, you lay them down, you sand them, you color them, and then you put that veneer over the top, the varnish.
There's an essence you can't capture anywhere else.
You just can't get it anywhere else. There's a smell to it.
Yeah,
It just brings a warmth into the home that you can't bring in any other way.
That's right.
The sound quality, the acoustics inside the house, it just sounds warmer. And I just love that about it. And this house, if you look around the doors and the built-ins next to the fireplace, it still has a lot of that old 1927 charm.
Sure.
And a lot of people are really loving that these days. Another picture with the hardwood floors, and you can just see that charm, man. And they've put some shiplap on the ceilings here.
Yeah, that looks great.
I think it looks great. I think it looks really good. And then this is a picture of a back, another pergola.
Another pergola. That's three. Isn't that three in a row?
That is, man.
Something's going on around here, man.
Somebody must really like those. I mean, it must be one of those trends that I missed out on because I don't have one in my backyard.
I don't either. I need to get one.
Maybe we should.
Wow.
Maybe we should. Now, this is a picture of a two-car carport out back, and the listing says that there is a new roof in 2019, a two-car covered parking, and a man cave building out back. So I'm wondering if this red and white building we see that's kind of the old farm barn style.
That could be it, the man cave.
Is that the man cave?
Yeah. I like that garage that it's metal.
I do like that too. I do like that.
I like that.
And so that's it, man. That's all the active stuff we got. And so we're going to go into these solds. This one was on County Road 1067 here in Greenville. Let's see, how long was it on the market? I don't have it right in front of me. 112 days, but it was a new build. So a lot of times these new builds they put up for sale before they're finished.
That's right.
And so there might have 60 days of that 112 might have been construction. There's no way to really know about that. The next one we have is County Road 2580 out of Royce City. Oops, I'm sorry. I had my papers backwards here. Did I miss it? I don't know what the address is on this house. Oh, there it is. This is County Road 1067 in Greenville. Yep. So I had that wrong. But this was a beautiful house. Looking at the pictures before the show, really well done home. People are going to be proud to own that guy. And then you move on. This one's County Road 2580 in Royce City. And it was on the market for 132 days. Looks like it's got a beautiful front porch there. I think people would really love that. Something that I love at my house is we'll have it's a back porch, but it's big, and just the way the house is built, it just draws that breeze there, so it's comfortable no matter what time of year you're out there. And that's it, man. That wraps it up. I appreciate you coming.
Yes,
Maybe you can come back to us one day. I think you've come in and presented to our agents once before.
Yeah, I have been in your office. Yes, sir.
So we'll see you again soon. And we want to say thank you, of course, to Derek and Celebrate Media Group for the awesome job they do here. And we'll see you next week.
Family is very important to us, and that's why we wanted to bring family to our business.
We tell folks that at Home Texas Real Estate, we work as a team, and we're all working together to try to sell your house, or we're all working together to help you find the right one that you want to buy.
With At Home Texas Real Estate, it's our family helping your family.